StreamYard. Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. Man, I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. I'm super excited to have my dear friend, the one and only Cliff Long, our CEO at the Orlando Regional REALTORS Association, and also one of the best human beings I know on my show. And he's in person right here. Welcome, Cliff. How you doing today?
Ted, I am outstanding. And he says he's excited. He is in no way more excited than I am. I have been trying to get to this show for 5 years. Ted was one of the first people to invite me to be a part of the landscape of the Orlando community. And I was so busy. They were whisking me away to different places. And Ted just said, okay, whenever, just let me know. Listen, he stopped chasing me and I started chasing him.
I'm a blush.
I wanted to be on the show. So good afternoon, everybody. Ted, it is outstanding. What are we going to talk about today?
I'm excited. All right, so we're going to talk about the economic impact of real estate. But you know, some of my viewers who might not be in the real estate world might not know you. So just give them a little bit of background on who Cliff is and how you got here.
Okay, so I am the Chief Executive Officer for the Orlando Regional REALTOR Association. We are right at 20,000 members strong. Now, this is my third stint working in serving realtors. I was the CEO of the Emerald Coast Association. So if you're familiar with the beautiful beaches of Destin, Seaside, Northwest Florida, that was my area.
Alexis Boland.
Alexis Boland was my first realtor. Alexis sold me my first house ever years ago. I don't want to date myself. And then after that, I took over as the CEO in Birmingham, Alabama, Roll Tide, largest association in Alabama. But you know what? After having laid on the beaches and seeing the white sand and having all the big shrimp and the great steaks, I decided to bring my talents back to Orlando, Florida. And prior to that, I worked for the state of Florida, the governor's office, the chief financial officer's office. I was a state guy, a lot of finance, a lot of insurance and things of that nature. That's my background. But serving realtors for almost 20 years now, that's what we do.
I love it. And I am such a big proponent of yours, obviously, but also of ORRA. So anybody who's out there who might not know what ORRA does, what is ORRA's role? ORRA is Orlando Regional REALTOR Association.
Our job is to serve the members. Our job is to make Central Florida a conducive environment for you to do business in. ORRA handles we start at government affairs. We work with elected officials, local, state, and national to ensure that laws and bills and things of that nature are passed, or that things that hurt the real estate industry are not passed. Then after that, we have 20,000 members and we try to facilitate their education every other year, doing continuing education, designations, certifications, ensuring that the realtor population is highly educated. And then we also do lock boxes and keys. If there's a lockbox on a house and it's in Central Florida, chances are it came from the Orlando Regional REALTOR Association. And we do so much more: sales meetings, awards. We work with our commercial realtors. If it has to do with real estate and the industry, we're the watchdogs and we're the servants of our members.
So let's take a deep dive into the market. I think everybody would agree the market has been incredibly crazy. It has been, which I think is a positive, but there are a lot of challenges. A lot of realtors have felt challenges. Obviously, home buyers have felt challenges because of inventory. So give us a little bit we're going to talk about the economic impact of real estate. What are you seeing? And then let's take a deep dive into the information you have, because this is the kind of stuff that ORRA gives. And of course, Cliff loves to give it freely because he wants everyone to be educated so you have the tools to do your job best and help out our community.
So thank you, Ted. Listen, this guy is my softball. He is serving it up. Listen, I'll keep it at 50,000 feet. Our economy is strong. Orlando is strong, and the market's not going to change drastically anytime soon unless something happens nationally. The fact is yes, the interest rate ticked up a little bit, but it did not curb the demand. Prior to COVID in 2019, we had 1,400 people per week moving into Central Florida. Now, guess what? Post-COVID, we're at about 1,000 to 1,200 now. It did not fall off. The demand to live in Central Florida is only stabilizing or increasing. Because of that, this is, number one, a viable place to buy and sell. It's a viable place for investment property, and people are still coming in. So we have an incredibly strong economy in Central Florida because of real estate. What you guys are doing out there, if you're a real estate professional, if you're working with mortgages, if you're working in title, if you're working as a realtor, you're absolutely killing it. You're hitting a home run, and this economy is surviving off of you. We know that the rebound from the recession we had was because of the realtors, was because real estate rebounded. And so because real estate is incredibly strong in Central Florida, this economy is not slowing down. Can I go a little deeper?
Please, I wish you would.
Okay, so let's talk shop here. Let's get in my lane, because I work a lot with the Orlando Economic Partnership and our chambers, and I provide data to support passing laws and getting behind realtors. So listen to this. Building 1,000 single-family homes creates 2,900 full-time jobs.
Wow.
What does this mean? Every time you do your job in Central Florida, you make this community better. Every time this guy hits record and goes live, he is actually bringing together one of the most coherent and awesome sales forces in America. When you do what you do, you make literally Orlando better. You sell a home, every time you write a mortgage, every time you do the underwriting, every time that title agent does what he or she is supposed to do, guess what? There's a roofer that starts to work. There's a landscaper that's getting ready to work. Utilities are getting ready to get connected. A painter's getting ready to work. You create jobs. You, as a real estate professional, do more for this economy by 12 o'clock than most people do all day long. You should be patting yourself on the shoulder right now for doing an outstanding job. This is your contribution to society, and you do it well in Central Florida.
I'm motivated, and I believe you, because you see the impact, because real estate is such a driving force. And I think that sometimes realtors, all of us in the industry, get caught up in what we're doing and maybe the next deal, and we don't realize how much of a positive impact that's having on so many other people, even outside of our periphery, like you mentioned.
Listen, Ted absolutely killed it just then. Listen to this fact. I told you that if you sell 1,000 homes, you create 2,900 full-time jobs. Now listen, that 2,900 full-time jobs, if you want to know what you're doing, that generates $110 million in taxes and fees for all levels of government. It supports police. It supports firefighters. It supports schools. Whoa, schools? Yes. So I'm telling you, there used to be a time, you guys have heard me say this if you've heard me speak. There used to be a bumper sticker that was real popular. It said, if you can read this, thank a teacher. You remember those bumper stickers?
I remember.
No. If you can, listen, if you got a teacher, thank a realtor.
Right.
If you've got a teacher, thank a mortgage originator. If you've got a teacher, thank an LO, because what they do to make sure that the money happens, it keeps on flowing, it goes into City Hall. You put more first responders on the streets than anything else in Central Florida, and you should be proud of what you do. That's why you need to be on the TED Show. That's why you need to be out there in the streets with the listings and the closings. And that's why you need to keep on doing what you do. You are absolutely special in this world.
Agreed. And I think what's interesting to me is that when that impact, it's not just local, it's global.
It's global.
It's global. And then we attract outside global buyers and sellers. We attract outside businesses that aren't already here in Central Florida that want to expand here because they see that our market is healthy. They see that our economy is healthy. And so they want to come here, which I know you have traveled, and we have an entire global council that goes all around the world and checks that out.
Listen, over 20% of the people that live in Central Florida were not born in the United States. We are a global economy. If you didn't know it, if you hadn't paid attention, Orlando is the new Atlanta. Orlando is the new New York. We're the new LA. We are the new melting. And global real estate is caliente and fuego. It's on fire. Listen, people are coming from all over the world to purchase property right here in Orlando. Our Global Real Estate Council is absolutely the best in America. We take trade missions all over the United States to work with buyers and government organizations to increase sales here in Orlando. We go and actually visit the people. When you start talking about the top 3 people, actually there's a new number 4 on the market. When you talk about the top for people who buy and sell homes in Orlando from other countries. Number one, Canada is always there.
Yeah.
We love the snowbirds. Number two, the UK. The Brits love Orlando. Number three is Brazil. And number four, coming in on fire, is China. Chinese buyers purchasing entire subdivisions, building them out and renting them. That is happening big time in Central Florida. What we do at ORRA is we actually take trade missions. Each year we go to Toronto. Each year we go to the UK, and we work with those buyers, and we do shows to say you can come to the US and own property, and they come. And they are cash buyers, and they're doing business right here in Central Florida. A lot of people don't know how these people make it here. They don't know that the Association of Realtors is out there drumming up business on your behalf.
Yes, and you just came back. Global Council just came back from a trip to Dubai.
What?
Yes. So tell us a little bit about that, because I had a lot of questions before we went live when people knew you were coming on. Why Dubai? What's going on? What was going on there that was important for us as representatives of the Orlando real estate market to be there?
There were actually two shows going on. One that was being a trade show that was being trade mission, I should say, through Florida Realtors, where we went and we presented. There was a women in real estate event there where our leaders and leaders from Florida Realtors and leaders from the National Association of Realtors presented about our markets. Get this, from the US, only two markets had an opportunity to present in Dubai: Orlando and Miami.
Wow.
And when Orlando was done, we received a standing ovation.
Nice.
When they heard about the only community in America where a mouse or having a mouse problem can actually increase your property value, they wanted to come to Orlando. So we had a chance to speak and present on why Dubai should consider our market. You have to understand that the people from Dubai were inviting our members there to take a look at their market, but we also presented Orlando to them. There was also the International Property Show, which was a smorgasbord and expo of people presenting properties and real estate opportunities all over the world. Orlando needed to be there at the table to represent our association and our community. But I also want to point out the fact, though, there's a bigger why. You see, in 2019, Orlando was the most visited city on earth, with 76 million people having come to visit Orlando. In 2019, the second most visited international community was Dubai. And the Dubai government said, okay, how do we get what they have here in Dubai? We need to create a partnership with the US. And in particular, we want a partnership with Orlando and the Orlando Regional REALTOR Association. So we are working on building a very great partnership with the Dubai Land Department. More to come later. I can't talk about it today, but we're building a great relationship that'll create a link between their money, their investors, and our money and our investors, where our two communities can symbiotically work together as sister associations and as sister cities. But we're not just doing that in Dubai, Ted. Our global council is awesome. We're looking at opportunities, and we're receiving invites from all over the world from different people who are wanting to work with Orlando's realtors, the real estate community, and our association.
And it's exciting. I mean, that's the kind of growth that comes here. And that leads me sort of to my last question that I'll throw at you. We had a bunch of questions about this. You mentioned earlier that part of your job, part of ORRA's job, is to be an advocate, to educate, to work with local governments. And affordable housing, the housing market here, not only because of inventory, we're involved as an organization working with the local governments, working with the city and the counties, right?
Absolutely. So what we do it quietly, because there's an old thing: you never get bigger than the people you serve. So ORRA comes in very quietly. We work with our local schools. One of the things that we do, you see the $2 million tax increase that has to do with schools and arts in schools. ORRA has very quietly been a supporter of that with regards to lobbying, political action committees, paying for those things in the schools. We have a program that we sponsored this year that with junior law enforcement in the schools, and also we're on board with the mayor's transportation tax. We know that when transportation increases and the ride time to and from work decreases, more people will move into Central Florida. We, from a government affairs standpoint, we absolutely are extremely active with local elected officials. I don't know of one person on the Orlando City Commission or Council that hasn't worked with RPAC. I don't know of one person with the Seminole County Commission that we haven't worked with or met with. Chances are, if you are an elected official in Central Florida, you have come to 1330 Lee Road at the Association of Realtors and sat down and talked to our members about what's important to you and why you want to be in office. ORRA is extremely active in politics, but extremely active does not always mean extremely visible. I don't want to be the most visible person in the room. I just want to be the most active person in the room. Right now, Disney just announced, 80 acres that they're putting forward towards affordable housing. We applaud that. And I have a representative sitting down with Disney as I talk to you right now to ask, how can the Association of Realtors help further that cause? We have our own foundation, the Orlando Regional REALTOR Foundation, which is a 501c3 organization. And through that, we've built Heroes Commons. We built houses and donated them for free to veterans. Did you hear me correct? Yes. You don't know that because we're not publishing it, because the work we do, you never get bigger than the people you serve. So we have quietly built affordable houses and given them away to people who have served in the military. We have, that was Heroes Commons. We have Holden Heights, another project right now that we're working with Habitat for Humanity, where we're literally donating property for affordable housing to be built by Habitat and other people. So oftentimes, again, the Association of Realtors, we want higher home sales. We want the sales price to go higher. It's great to have a $200,000 home, but I'd rather you sell a $600,000 home. So we promote that, but it doesn't mean that we don't know how this community works. And if you don't have affordable housing, you don't have any housing. So we are huge proponents of affordable housing. And I can go deeper, Ted, if you want.
Sure. I love it. I'm motivated.
Okay. So, so we're huge proponents of affordable housing, or what people call workforce housing. I sit on the board of directors for the Orlando Economic Partnership, and I am proud of the fact that the Orlando Economic Partnership, Disney, other people, because of, the collaboration with the Association of Realtors, workforce housing or affordable housing is now either in the top 3 on every agenda across Central Florida. You see what Disney is doing. You see what Universal is doing. You see what the mayor's office is doing. Yesterday, it was pitched to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. ORRA has taken the lead in Central Florida in pushing workforce housing and affordable housing and making sure that it's at the top of everyone's agenda. That is what the Association of Realtors does. Again, we don't have to be the ones that get the credit, but we are doing the work. And this is just one of the opportunities and a platform that Ted has given me to tell you what's really going on behind closed doors.
What I love, and we'll close, I got one question for you after, but I think it's so important. What Cliff is talking about, first of all, if you're not inspired, I need you to check your pulse. But also, real estate, a lot of people approach it as a transaction instead of a relationship. And so everything that Cliff is talking about is how we have relationships in every aspect of our community, local, regional, state, country, global. And that's where the power lies, in my opinion. And Cliff and his team and all of the realtors who are part of ORRA have that opportunity to do the exact same thing with everything that they do every single day. So kudos to you, my friend. All right. I asked one last question that I don't tell anyone. Don't worry, it won't be too hard. We did Black History Month in February. March was Women's History Month. But the question I've been asking everybody is, when I say that you're motivational and inspirational, me personally, and I think for a lot of people, when I say the word hero, who's the first individual that comes to mind?
My mother.
Okay, and why?
I remember when my mother was striving to get her master's degree and my father worked 9 to 5. He couldn't keep me. I remember when, back in those days, we're talking the late 70s, early 80s, when my mama wanted her degree. At first, she would drive to the college and I would sit in the car. And back in those days, you sat in the car when your mom told you your butt didn't move. And she cracked the window and told me, don't you get out this car. I'm going to beat your you-know-what. And then when it got cold, I remember when my mother could no longer leave me in the car and she brought me inside the campus. And so I couldn't come in the classroom with her. But what I did do was she made me sit on the floor outside of the door of the classroom every day while she went inside and worked on her degree. Well, something happened. When the other mothers, whether they be single or married, saw that my mother had me and my school books and my homework sitting on the floor outside of the classroom while she was inside taking classes, before the end of her college semester, I was one of 7, 8, 9, 10 children sitting on the floor. All of the other mothers got rid of their excuses and brought their kids, and we sat our butts down and we listened. And I remember the day that I jumped up and down, Ted, and cheered as my mama walked across the stage because she got her master's degree and she was a teacher. My mama taught me, accept no crutches. She said, Orlando didn't make you, and don't you let Orlando break you. My mama is my hero because she showed me how to overcome things that other people fold up over. Yes. And that's why my mother's my hero.
I love it. See, always motivational. The one and only Cliff Long. Cliff, what's the best way they can reach out to you and find more about you and about ORRA?
Just email me, cliffl@orlandorealtors.org, or the Orlando Regional Realtor website, or our Facebook page. Contrary to what people believe, there are people on the other side reading the post. If you send me an inbox, they will respond, but just hit me up, cliffl@orlandorealtors.org.
All right, guys, and the website is scrolling across the bottom. From the bottom of my heart, I love and appreciate you so much. You're amazing, and you are such a great mentor and friend to me, and I will always be grateful for that.
Take care, brother.
Thank you. Love you. All right, guys, reach out, orlandorealtors.org, cliffl@orlandorealtors.org.